So it's about psychology, it's about identity, it's about behavior. And namely, I think about it as like the inner structure that the top 1% of business owners and creators that leverage social media successfully, what they live by. So here's the pop quiz. Who here thinks that the problem right now is the algorithm? Type me in the chat if you think that your problem right now is the algorithm. That's the reason why you're not getting as much success from social media as you would like. Okay? Who here thinks that your problem is your niche? Type niche if you think it's your niche or your offer, perhaps. Okay? Some of you think the problem is maybe like consistency and struggling to be consistent with it. If that's the case, just drop that down for me. In fact, you know what would be even better? Type down for me what you think your problem is. What do you think is your problem right now? Is it your messaging? Is it like you just don't really know how to get content that gets reach? You don't know how to convert leads into sales? Like, what is the problem that you're having with social media right now? So I'm seeing some say no high ticket offer, messaging reach, consistency of action, messaging, getting out of my head and shipping. Okay, not converting. The problem is me. Very self-aware, finding the right system. Okay, so a bunch of different things. So what we're going to do on today's session, this is going to be really fun. I'm really excited for this one. First of all, we're going to go over the lies that keep most people invisible online. Then what we're going to do is we're going to move on to the psychology that the most successful people on social media, well, their psychology and the traits of the 1%. And what I want you to understand is that when today lands for you, the next 3 days will change your business. Cool? Alrighty. So let's dismantle some lies. And I think this is very important getting into the event because it's not the, surface level lies, right? It's the lies that shape how you behave or how you show up, how you create, and how you limit yourself without even realizing it, okay? So who's ever told themselves this? And I'm putting my hand up because I have, okay? This is the first lie. I will be confident when I'm ready. Who's told themselves that before? Okay. So the reason why that's a lie is because it's not the truth, of course. So if you look at someone like Alex Hormozi's first content, right? Like really, really, really a long time ago. I'm sure most of you know who he is. Okay, his first videos were not what they are today. Somebody like Stephen Bartlett, right? He openly said that his early content barely got any views. I mean, I don't know if you guys have ever watched one of Mr. Beast's first videos just for fun. This guy has hundreds of millions of subscribers now on YouTube. I mean, his first videos were horrible, okay? And they basically got no views. So they were, of course, not confident at first, but they became confident through repetition. So confidence it's not a personality trait. It's a byproduct of knowing what you want and sticking to it. In fact, I want to show you something. Team, could we this is a little bit embarrassing, but I'll take one for the team. All right, here we go.
Hi guys, my name is Lauren Tickner, aka _ Lauren Fitness from Instagram.
Okay,
this has to stop this YouTube account.
This is terrible. Because I was like sitting in my bed. It's so bad. Yeah, so anyway, I'm sharing that with you because like that was 10 years ago. And, as I mentioned, for context, that was before vertical video was even a thing. Brooke, I appreciate you saying I was before my time, but really, I just didn't know what I was doing. But anyway, the reason why I did it is because I knew that I needed to serve my people. Let's be honest, like, was I good? It's not going to hurt my feelings. You can tell me yes or no in the chat. Come on, I was not good. Just say it. Say the no. Come on, just be real with me here. I wasn't good. I was definitely not ready. I think that was like an iPhone 4, maybe? Selfie camera? I didn't have a camera. I was not prepared. And I went for it because I knew that my message was more important than my ego. So say that with me. My message is more important than my ego. Type that down. Write that down. Get that into your head. My message is more important than my ego. Okay? Because, yes, that's right. Because the first lie is that I will be confident when I'm ready. No, that's not true. You will absolutely not be, it's just not the case. You have to go for it. That's basically it. You just got to go for it. That's the first lie. So your message is more important than your ego. Okay. And secondly, the second lie is that the algorithm decides your results. Okay. Some people, and some of you here, I know this used to be me. Some of you worship the algorithm, I don't know, like it's your God or something. I don't know. Maybe that's a bit too extreme, but like some people believe that their content lives or dies on the algorithm. I want to free you from that today, because the algorithm does not create desire. In fact, this is going to be one of the things that we go through tomorrow, is the 3 desires that exist in your market, whether you know about it or not right now. We'll be going through that tomorrow. I'll be spilling the tea on that, as we say in England. The algorithm doesn't create the desire, your message does. Okay? So here's the part most people, they don't realize. When your message is right, when you speak to the right people in the right way, the results become predictable. What do they become? Predictable. Yes, Gabby, I see you. I like it. Okay? And it's not because the algorithm likes you. It's because the market understands you. And the great thing about this, and this is how the top percentile of those using social media think, they like this because you then begin to realize your message is in your control. The algorithm isn't. I mean, Mark Zuckerberg and his entire team there at Facebook and Instagram, WhatsApp, they could wake up one day, change the algorithm. Do you want to be at the mercy of the algorithm? Yes or no? No. You want to control your message. So whether the algorithm likes you or not, your message reaches the right people. So getting your message right, it's not optional, it's the foundation. Because then when you get that part right, what the algorithm does is it amplifies what's already working. So that's the second lie. The second lie was that the algorithm decides your results. No, the algorithm does not decide your results. Your message does. Your messaging does. The right messaging leads to predictable results. Okay? Now the third lie, and the reason I'm sharing this stuff with you guys is so that you can get into the social media profit bootcamp with the right mindset to know how you can be successful with what we're going to go through, okay? So the third lie, in fact, let me ask you this. Who thinks hashtags are important? Type hashtags. Who thinks post timing is important? Timing, type timing. Who thinks following trends is important? Drop trends. Who thinks going viral is going to save them from all their problems? Type viral. Okay, I appreciate you guys' honesty. Okay, so guys, if hashtags created millionaires, then hashtag experts would be wealthy. Who's seen a hashtag expert in the last few years? I don't know. None, right? So, you know, when it comes to following trends and jumping on trends, right, that's exhausting. Absolutely exhausting. No one who has a really good social media strategy is relying on trends. They may jump on a trend every now and then just because they've already got the rest of their system set up, okay? But short-term tactics do not build wealth. Okay? Short-term tactics don't build wealth. What's more important is speaking to the 3 desires in the market, which we'll be going through tomorrow. Okay, what we then go through on the second day of the Social Media Profit Bootcamp, where I show you the content calendar, you will realize why you don't need to worry about hashtags, why you don't need to worry about post timing, why you don't need to worry about jumping on trends ever again. Seriously. So can I just set you free from worrying about those things right now? Please? And liberate you from feeling concerned about all that stuff? Because you know what I see so much, so time and time again, it's majoring in the minors. Majoring in the minors. And you see, when people spend 80% of their time worrying about exactly how to word the hook and the exact words, like specifics in the post and the exact timing of the post and the exact hashtags, or, you know, the viral trend that's working right now, if 80% of the time is going on that, then 20% of the time is going on you know, who you're speaking to, how you're speaking to them, the messaging, okay, and the overall structure, okay, you got it wrong, you got it flipped. That's majoring in the minors. So what I'm going to do, and Oliver, I see you saying I'm so guilty for this. I'm sorry for calling you, making you maybe feel like you're called out. But my goal over the next 3 days is to allow every single one of you here, okay, to major in the majors and not major in the minors. Because imagine how many hours you're going to get back per week. How many hours do you think it would be if you didn't have to worry about all that stuff anymore and you just knew that you were writing the right amount of content? How many hours do you think you'd get back? Type it down for me. Is it like 1, 2, 5? Oliver says more than 4. Brooke says 40. Adwella says 3, some 8, 5K. So all different amounts of hours here. But a lot of you guys saying, you know, somewhere between 5 and 10. I mean, that's an entire work day. An entire work day. Now just think, what else would you like to do in that work day that you don't have to work anymore? Because you're spending time on things that aren't driving the needle. I say that with love. Okay, I'm going to fix that for you. What else are you going to do? You're going to go hiking with your family? Are you going to go, I don't know, play tennis or paddle or riding horses? What do you like to do? Just think about all the other things that you're going to be able to do with that time when you no longer spend, I don't know, 5 to 8 hours every week working on things that are moving you sideways versus moving you forward. Because what's more important, okay, than majoring in the minors, okay, the post timing, the the very specific style of exactly how the edit on the, you know, the carousel needs to look and the graphic behind that, okay? What's more important than that, guys, is having a skill to produce content that drives leads. It's a skill. And I'm going to give that skill to you over the next 3 days, okay? Bob says he likes cycling and walking dogs. Fantastic. Okay, so a couple more lies before I get into the traits, because I have to just clear this out the air, because otherwise I get these questions throughout the bootcamp, and I don't want you guys like getting your mind clogged with this stuff, because I want your brain to be free to absorb the information that we go through on the bootcamp. So is that cool? You guys tracking with me? Show me some thumbs if you are. All right. Sue, you didn't show me. Okay, good. I saw you. I was worried there. I was worried, Sue. You had me worried. Okay, good. Okay. So the fourth lie, guys. I wonder if you guys are gonna relate to this one. Tell me if you relate. Type relate if you relate to this one. I need to post everywhere to grow. Who relates to that one? Mm-hmm. Okay. So I've loved Gary Vee for a really long time. When I got to speak on the same stage as him, like, and shake his hand and just tell him how grateful I am for like how much he taught me over the years, this was so awesome. But I have to say, you know, he's got a team of like hundreds of people, right? And so when it's just, you know, little old me over there in the corner, right, with just, you know, working your consulting business, your coaching, your agency, so on and so forth, you don't have this team of 100 plus people, you know, trying to post everywhere isn't necessarily going to be that feasible for you. So when you do try and post everywhere, you make one of the worst mistakes is you spread yourself thin and you risk becoming no one to everyone. You risk that because there are different ways to format your content per platform. And an example, like, has anyone been, let's say, to London? I mean, I'm from London, so if anyone's been to London, we don't have that rule over there like in America they have. In America, there's this rule where when you're crossing over the street, if you try and cross the street like not at a pedestrian crossing, you can get a fine or something. It's called like jaywalking, I guess. I spent a lot of time in America. It was very strange to me because I started just crossing the road and my friends were like, Lauren, no, don't do that. The cops are right there. And I was like, cool, I'll go say hi to them, you know? But no, it was jaywalking, whatever. So in London, though, in London, you can just pretty much cross the road wherever you want and just, you know, dodge the car. I'm not advising you do this, by the way. I'm definitely not. But I share that because in different countries, there's different cultures. Yeah. Like in London, we have a culture. And I have to say, they love drinking beers over there in London. In America, okay, I spent a lot of time in Austin, Texas, different culture. It's all about like biohacking and stuff over there. So I like that vibe. But anyway, I digress. So my point is, on different social media platforms, there are different cultures too. And just like how if you're trying to learn the cultures of multiple different countries at any one singular time, it's going to be hard, it's going to be overwhelming, it's going to be confusing. The same thing happens with social media. So that's why what I'm going to be giving to you guys over the next few days is going to help you gain a lot of clarity on how you can master the main platform that you're focusing on right now. The one that you sent the link to earlier, okay? You can crush it on there and then move on to the next one once you've systematized what's working on your core platform. Is that making sense? Drop yes or no for me. Because I'm happy to clarify this is not making sense. Okay? All right, I'm seeing a flood of yeses, so I'm glad this is making sense. Fantastic. So we cleared the lies. And now we've cleared the lies, we can install the truth. And the truth that we're talking about today, remember, this isn't about technique today. Today we're talking identity. What are we talking about today? Identity. Yes, Sue, I like it. I see you. So what I want to do now is look at the traits of the people who are winning with very small audiences, with simple content, and who are making consistent revenue. In fact, as we do this, if you look at your cumulative audience, so like if you add up what you've got on Facebook and LinkedIn and blah, 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 email list as well, can you type in the chat for me, how big is your audience right now? Or how small is it? No judgment, just curious. Because what I'm about to go through, Kev says one, okay? it's himself. Okay, I appreciate the honesty. Because these traits are gonna include how people like Winnie Woo, okay? Winnie Woo has less than 900 followers, making more than 50K a month, USD, by the way, from less than, I mean, it's less than 1,000, right? If we just talk round numbers there, okay? So the key with these traits as I go through this is that those who have these traits are not people that were born lucky. They didn't, come out of the womb good on social media, like you'll see from my video 10 years ago, okay? Not gifts from the universe, okay? Not something that they just magically woke up with. It's really about gaining an outcome of their environment. Because when you have the right environment, okay, when you have the right structures and when you have the right systems in place, the traits that I'm about to go through happen automatically. I mean, that's just like as a side note, like that's why I'm such, I'm all about systems, right? You guys hear me talk about systems all the time. If you're new to me, you may not know that right now, but I'm always talking about systems, obsessed with building systems, right? Because when you have a system, it kind of allows you to shape your identity because you don't have to think about it anymore. You can just show up, okay? So before I show you the strategies that we'll go through in the bootcamp, I want to install the identity that will make you successful with it all. So we're going to be going through right now 5 traits, 5 very key specific traits of those that win with content. Cool? Alrighty. So here's the first one. Here's the first trait. And some of you guys are going to have a lot of resistance to this one, by the way. A lot. A lot. I know I did. In fact, I'll tell that story later, but here's what it is. It's that pros decide that they are creators long before anybody recognizes them. This is the first trait. I need you to know that if you understand this, when you understand this, and when you embody this here today, the rest of your journey is going to move faster. It's going to be a heck of a lot smoother. And you will personally feel less friction. Okay? So what a lot of people think is that creators become successful and then they start calling themselves creators. Business owners think they aren't creators. They think, I'm a business owner. In fact, I'm curious, how do you self-identify yourself right now? Is it a business owner, a coach, a consultant, a entrepreneur, founder? Just from a business lens, how do you self-identify? So we've got some entrepreneur, we've got some business owner, teacher, startup, solopreneur, entrepreneur, founder, mentor, thought leader. Okay, interesting. It's very interesting, right? Floundering wannabe. I respect that. Okay. Not for long, not for long. Because here's the truth. Anyone using social media for their business, they start calling themselves creators long before that's their full-time thing and their main focus of their business. Even if they never want that to be their main focus of their business, they embody the identity of a creator. I'll show you. We spoke about Alex Hormozi earlier, okay? Did Alex Hormozi wait for 1 million followers before he decided he was a creator? Or did he start creating when nobody was watching and see himself as a creator? He decided first. He decided first because if you look at his first videos, he speaks about how he was studying Mr. Beast and the creator economy because he was looking to step into that identity of a creator, okay? If we look at Stephen Bartlett, his social media business just got valued at $425 million. 425 million, okay? So did he wait to become famous before he spoke with authority on mindset and business? Or did he speak with authority long before people recognized him? I mean, I met him, maybe 8 years ago, first time? Nobody knew who he was. He had like a couple thousand people listening to his podcast. I was one of them. Okay? He self-identified as a creator first. So your identity is what precedes your income. This is a major, major lesson. It's be, do, have. You embody the identity, right? This is such an old school teaching, but we seem to forget it. We seem to forget it when it applies to us. In fact, you guys probably teach this, many of you teach this to your clients. You need to embody the identity first. So why are you not embodying it for yourself? Okay? Because when you start calling yourself a creator, here's what happens. Your decisions change. They change. It's like if anyone's ever tried to lose weight here, if you start calling yourself, I am a healthy person, it's very interesting how you start grabbing an apple instead of grabbing a bag of chips or chocolate bar. Just happens like that, okay? So if you can see this, type identity for me. If you're picking up what I'm putting down, and I want you to decide with me here today, what identity are you going to embody moving forward? I want you to type it down. I am a, and then fill in the blank for me. I am a creator. Yes. Fantastic. Creator. Because you create value. You create impact. You create content. You create income. Incredible. Because I create legacy. Love it. Kurt says I just changed it on Facebook. Kurt, round of applause for you. That is fantastic. Very, very cool. That's commitment. It's like, do you remember back in the day, people changed their relationship status on there? That was like a big thing. You just did like the relationship status version of business. Okay, very cool. So here's the thing. The moment you decide you're a creator, your brain stops asking, can I do this? And it starts asking, how do I do this? You notice how you start asking better questions. You start asking better questions, getting better outcomes. That's what Tony Robbins says. The quality of your questions dictates the quality of your life. So that's why you're here today. You're not here to become a creator. In fact, nothing I said on the page when you signed up for this thing was about being a creator. But I bring this up because you already are one. You already are. Okay? So, next one. The second trait. This is an interesting one. Okay. The second trait is that pros create before they judge. Who has ever written a post and then thought, oh, I can't post that, it's not good enough? Anybody? Type me if you've ever done that before. I mean, I can type me like 10 bajillion times. Yeah. So here's the really interesting thing. Every 7-figure personal brand, or even 8-figure personal brand that I have had the pleasure of working with, the ones that scale quickly, the ones that get the quickest results, they embody this trait of that they create before they judge. So they flip it on its head. They create before they judge, okay? So I want you to lean in for this one, because this is going to set so many of you free. It's going to set so many people free. So here's how, guys, amateurs, if we think about those who are staying stuck, right? Which I know is many of you here. I've seen you struggle. I've seen you try really, really hard at this. I've looked at many of your profiles before we've jumped on here. What those who are stuck do, they create and they judge in the same moment. So they'll make a post, they'll look at it and decide not to post it. So they'll write a sentence, delete it. Write another sentence, edit it. Film a clip, criticize the clip. And then what happens is they're creating, but then they immediately judge themselves. And that creates a negative feedback loop. So then you delete the video, you delete the copy, and then you go back to square one. Anybody? I definitely been there. Yeah. So pros, on the other hand, they do something completely different. Completely different. Pros understand that perfectionism is just procrastination packaged up all fancy. Yep. What they do, they create, and then they evaluate later. Get it out the brain, edit later. Because the thing is, when you judge what you create, you begin shutting down the part of your mind that makes you magnetic. Like the very thing that your clients love you for, you're then, essentially, you're putting it down, right? You're telling yourself this isn't good enough, when it is. You choke your message. You dim your personality. You push down your creativity. And the thing is, when you start creating first, without judging it, something powerful happens. Your real voice, it starts to come through. Your authority comes through. And most importantly, it's your confidence. Your confidence comes through. Because pros, they understand that it's all in data. It's all in the data. Type data for me. Data. It's all in the data, okay? Because with content, okay, until you put it out there into the world, you don't really know if it was good or not, do you? I mean, who's ever had this moment where you make a post and you don't like it, but you put it up anyway and it does extremely well? Has anybody ever had that experience? You just make this random post and then it just does extremely well and you get a ton of leads and you're like, damn, how'd that happen? Well, I'll tell you tomorrow why that happened, actually, because I'll basically break down the psychology of it for you, okay? Because the thing that pros in the game of content understand is that you're not here to impress anybody. In the end of the day, this is traffic to scale your business and put out a message that's important to you to attract clients, right? So when you try to impress people, you wait until you feel perfect. Whereas when you're trying to express your message, you create because you know someone needs to hear that thing. Massive identity shift. Posting to impress is based on approval. Whereas when you post to express, it's based upon spreading your message. Massive identity shift there, right? Huge. Huge. Okay? So I want you to stop censoring yourself. Stop judging yourself. Just remember my first video. Imagine if I judged myself all the time back then. I probably would not be here today. So that's what I want to leave you with the second identity trait. Okay? Go for it. Don't judge yourself. Create. Look at the data. Data-driven, okay? All right, third trait. The third trait that makes people successful with social media, generating a significant amount of clients and having fun with it, okay? Is that pros repeat their message until the market remembers their name. Okay? So what you'll see with those that are not successful is they chase novelty. Okay? So it's like trying every new trick, every tactic, jumping on the trends, okay? Always changing putting up different styles of content all the time. Look at someone, we used Gary Vee earlier. Let's use him as another example, right? You know what Gary Vee believes because he says it all the time. Just think about someone that you follow on social media and think about what's their core message. Just think about them for a second, okay? In your head, a few seconds, okay? Who are they? What's their core message? And why were you able to recall that so easily? Well, it's because those that fail on social media are chasing reach, whereas those that are remembered on social media are chasing recall. They're chasing being remembered. And the way that you're remembered is through repetition, because repetition builds your reputation. Write that one down. Repetition builds reputation. Because here's the truth. If your message changes every week, your audience forgets you. Your audience wants a leader. A leader is someone that goes first. Then when they follow you for long enough, when they implement what you're saying, you get known for that thing, they then buy from you, okay? So I'll be talking about more about this tomorrow. But authority, it is not built by saying many, 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 many things. It's built by saying just one or two things many, 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 many times. That's the difference, okay? It's not about being new. It's not about being, super interesting, okay? The thing is that is about being remembered. It's about being remembered. Like, let me ask you this. How many different topics have you spoken about in your content over the last year? How many different topics? Type it down for me. Just be real with yourself. Karen's like, OMG, I've lost count. Okay, some are a few, others are many. And what I notice in those that are not successful with social media, those who show up, they come to an event like this, but then, maybe they don't get the results they want, is because they do something that works, it does well, and then they abandon it because they think that they need to reinvent themselves every single week. Pros don't do that. They repeat themselves until the market finally understands the value. And I understand why you want to change the messaging all the time if it's not working. But let me tell you this. It's not that the messaging is wrong. It's the way that you're packaging it that's wrong. Let me repeat that, okay? If what you're saying is not getting reach, it's not that what you're saying is wrong. It's the way that you're saying it, the way that you're wording it, the way that you're packaging it. That's what we call it in social media. We call it packaging, okay? It's just like how, when people do viewings of houses, some people make it look beautiful and nice, whereas other people, they leave their trash around and they leave dirty, plates out everywhere, right? That's packaging. We do the same on social media. Your message can be packaged in different ways. If it's not working, it's probably because your packaging is off, okay? When people remember your message, they remember you. When your name becomes the hook, that's when you've built a cult-like following. You can sell basically anything that you want to them, and everything becomes a whole lot easier, okay? So that was the third trait. It's that pros repeat their message until the market remembers their name, all right? So here's the fourth one. The fourth one. Now, I would say this is one that separates those that stay stuck from authorities very, very quickly. And it's that pros choose structure over emotion. Some people really hate this one, but I'm just dishing it to you straight because I want you to win, okay? So pros choose structure over emotion. Let me explain. So Amateurs, okay, they create when they feel inspired. What pros do, they create because they've decided to inspire. Is their identity. They are someone who inspires others. They are someone who helps others. They are someone who serves others, okay? So here's an example of the difference. Person A says, I'm going to post when I feel good. Person B says, I will post because somebody needs this. Huge difference, because those who struggle, they rely on motivation, whereas those who win, they rely on structure. If you think about James Clear, okay, he wrote a book that sold more than 10 million copies. He has said that he did not wake up every day feeling inspired to write. He woke up every day and wrote because that was a structure that he put into his life. Again, if you think about, we used the example Mr. Beast earlier, I'll use him again. Why not? Do you think he felt inspired every morning? No, I mean, he's literally said in multiple interviews that he does not particularly feel inspired every single day. And some days he will literally, sit down and he knows he needs to get a video out in a few days. So he'll sit there, bosh it out because he knows that he has a structure in place. Okay, because the pros, they understand that inspiration is unreliable, whereas the identity is stable, right? It's stable. So when you lead from identity that you're a creator, instead of needing inspiration all the time, can you see how much easier it is to show up? Yes or no, if you can see that. Okay? Good. So that trait alone, by the way, that trait will scale you up faster than needing the hashtags, right? Or the post timing, anything like that. This is way more important. And I know it's not as sexy, right? For me to just give you some hashtags and be like, okay, be gone with it. But my goal isn't that you're just successful at this for like a week. My goal is to set you up for success for many, many years and even decades to come. Okay? Cool? Making sense? Uh-huh. Yes. Hashtags could die like trends. That's true. Okay. I want to get to the fifth trait. And this is one that is very important to leave you with before we get into the session over the next 3 days. And before I get into this, I just want to know in the chat, what's been your biggest takeaway so far? What's been your biggest takeaway so far getting into this event? What's hit you? What have you found has maybe inspired you? What are you going to implement? Cliff says, stop changing my message. Yes. Mona says, great foundation. Essie says, my message is more important than my ego. Letitia says, post to express, not to impress. Kinsey says, pros repeat their message until the market remembers their name. Bob says, algorithm doesn't limit us, need to create desire. Gabby says, structure over emotion. Oliver says, repetition equals reputation, 100%. Yes, okay, I'm glad you guys like that one. Fantastic, I'm a creator. Good, good, good. Brilliant. Okay, so here's the next one. And this brings it all together. And it's that pros upgrade their identity before they upgrade their strategy. And that's why we've done this here today, okay? In fact, would it be okay if I share a story with you that changed how I see success? In fact, it didn't just change, like, to be fair, it changed how I saw money, social media, success, and building wealth. Okay? So I had a couple jobs before I did what I do now. Many actually, but the important ones. One was at an influencer marketing agency, and the other one was in real estate. And when I was in real estate, my manager, this story, I have to say, like, this totally changed how I see things. So I will share that same story with you now. And here's how it starts, okay? So I'll tell it to you just like how he told it to me. So essentially, there was a salesperson that was working for a company who sold like household products door to door, pest control or something like that, right? So the salesperson was pretty good. He always hit his target and always made around $7,000 a month. So nothing flashy, but it was consistent, right? Just below what, 100K per year. So then one year, the company ran a test. And every quarter, so every 3 months, they moved him to a different location. So first, they moved him to a low-income neighborhood. So you know, like the kind of area where people are barely getting by, right? So it took him up until the last day of the month to meet his quota. So enough to make $7,000 in commissions, okay? So he literally worked every single day. The next quarter, they moved him to, do you guys know those like suburbs where there's massive houses? You know, massive houses. You walk around those, you know, it's like $10 million, $20 million, like crazy. Like they've even like, you know, drawn like dragons out of their like bushes and stuff, right? Super cool. I like walking around those and just feeling inspired. But, you know, those people obviously have plenty of money, right? Plenty. Guys, within 2 days, he'd met his quota. 2 days. So $7,000 in commissions. But then he got sick. So he had to take a week off. And then he got back to work. But he decided to take it easy so that he wouldn't strain himself after being sick, you know? And the week after that, a few of his friends were in the same neighborhood. So he went golfing with them, right? This is the type of area where there's like crazy golf courses, you know? Here's the most interesting part about this story. And this is where it will leave you with a lesson that I want to leave you with, okay? By the end of the month, can you guys guess how much money he had made? Just guess for me. Okay, so we got some 14,000, 500K, 7,000, 30,000. Okay. Guys, by the end of the month, he had not made any more than what he'd made in his first 2 days of the month. He'd made a grand total of $7,000. But who here can see that when he was in that rich neighborhood, if he'd have just kept up the same momentum, let's say for just 20 working days of the month, he could have made, I don't know, at least $50,000 that month. Can you guys see that? Yeah? Like no matter where he went, he made the same amount of money. Why is that? Well, it's because he wasn't earning based upon the opportunity in front of him. He was earning based on the identity inside of him. And that right there is called set point. So let me ask you this. Have you ever experienced a set point in your life? Type set point if you've ever had that before. Okay? It's where you work harder. Maybe you post more. You launch, you relaunch again. You create different offers, different programs, different packages, but the numbers always settle back to roughly the same place. Because unless you change how you see yourself, you will unconsciously sabotage anything that threatens to pull you beyond your default. Anything. Because the lie we've been told is that working harder is going to make us earn more. That's another lie, okay? That's why I say your income is capped by your identity until you embody the identity of those who are already successful. Guys, I had to face this too. There was a time I believed that I could help people, but I didn't believe that I was the best in the world at what I do. So I kept playing small. I kept pricing low. I kept waiting to show up. I mean, have you ever felt like you're just not quite ready yet? Who's felt like that? Or like no matter what you do or how much effort you put in, like you just get the same result. And then I read a book called Turning Pro by Steven Pressfield. I would recommend everyone here reads that book. In fact, type pro if you've read that book before. Because in that book, he wrote that the moment that we turn pro is the moment we finally stop running from our own fear. And when I read that book, it's called Turning Pro. I realized the stress, the self-doubt, the frustration. It's not because I wasn't working hard enough. It's because I was still running. Running from fear of failing, fear of looking stupid, fear of not being ready, fear of not getting results, fear of letting myself down. And that's what kept me stuck as an amateur. And in that book, he says that the difference between an amateur and a pro is in their habits. It's in their identity. An amateur has amateur habits. A professional has professional habits. So let me ask you, have you ever looked at people crushing it online? Knowing that you are just as good as they are, but they're making 10 times more than you. If you've seen that, type why in the chat. Like, why are they making more than me? I'm better than them. Right. Guys, when you see that, it's not about, they turn pro not because they're doing more work, right? They turn pro because they're using the right process. Professionals win because they have a process. Because it doesn't matter that other people, they've told you that you're not ready. It doesn't matter that they think your content is embarrassing. And it doesn't matter that they tell you that your dreams are too big. Because pros understand that nobody above them can pull them down. Think about it. No one above you can pull you down. Like, say that out loud with me. Nobody above me can pull me down. Guys, it's physics, no? Because guys, the results that you're getting right now, they're not a reflection of your talent. They are a reflection of what you've been willing to receive. And if you want to receive more, it's not that you need a bigger audience. It's not that you need more hours in the day. It's time to install the identity of a pro. Like James Clear says, you do not rise to the level of your goals. You do not rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems. So if you're going to turn pro with me over these next 3 days, give me a pro in the chat. Give me a pro in the chat. Good. I like it. I see the chat blowing up. Fantastic. So I want to bring this home and set up the next 3 days in a way that serves you. Okay? Because today I did not add more random information to your brain. We did something far more important than that. Far more important. We dismantled the lies that keep you stuck and that keep you invisible online. We exposed the set point that keeps your income returning to the same level. I showed you the 5 traits of creators who win with small audiences and simple content. And what do we do finally? We turned pro. We shifted you from amateur identity to professional identity. And here's what that means for you. From this moment on, you are no longer someone who is trying content. You are a creator who is going pro. Just feel how good that feels for a moment. Just feel it. Just be here with me. Feel it. Where do you feel it in your body? Is it in your chest? Is it in your solar plexus, your stomach, your hands, your heart, soul, chest? Okay. I'm getting goosebumps all over my whole body. I just see your guys' faces right now. This is the best. Because over the next 3 days, I am going to show you how to make this identity easy to live out. So day 1, you're going to learn the 3 desires in the market and the 3 types of content that speak to those desires and how the top business owners combine these 3 in order to create content that converts without posting more. And you guys just committed to going pro with me here today. So can you do me a favor and give me the same energy over the next 3 days you've given me here today? Is that cool? Good. Because if we get this energy, you guys are going to crush it with me over the next 3 days. You know? Because you're even going to publish your first piece of content tomorrow. I'm going to workshop it with you live and you're going to post live with me. Who's going to do that? Type me. May just hold you accountable to that. Okay? I like it. All right. Okay, just first of all, before I continue, round of applause for everyone in this room because this energy is fantastic. I see you guys. I love it. Okay, fantastic. All right. Day 2. Okay? We're going to move into to implementing what we learned tomorrow. Okay? With a 3D viral content calendar. This is where you'll learn exactly what to post, when to post it, why it works, and how to build out a repeatable weekly rhythm that creates predictable lead flow. And guys, this is where content is going to stop feeling overwhelming. It's just going to feel clear. Because then day 3, I'm going to show you the 4 biggest mistakes that keep people who are really good at what they do from making the sales that they should be making. And what I'll do is I'll break down each of those 4 things so you don't basically fall into any of those mistakes. And I'll also give you the sales script that we use with our clients so that you can turn the attention that you start getting from your content into revenue. Quick pop quiz. What are you guys most excited about over the next 3 days? Just out of curiosity. What are you most excited about? I mean, I have plenty of other surprises for you, but okay, Kev says structure. Thomas says all. Ferg says posting. Karen says everything. Implementing Turning Pro, 3D system to scale, writing messaging that converts. Fantastic. Okay, cool. So guys, here's your first act of Turning Pro. Show up to day 1 5 minutes early. Pros know that if you're on time, you're late. If you're on time, you're late. That's the rule that I live by. So you're going to show up 5 minutes early. Bring a notebook. Because if you have a notebook, you can close your other tabs. It's so much better to write with a notebook than on a Google Doc or something, because then you can have another experience of taking your notes and organizing it properly into a Google Doc. I'm telling you. So put your phone in another room. Focus and decide right now that you're not just attending, you're executing, okay? Because when you combine the psychology that you learn here today with what we're going to go through over the next 3 days, the way you look at content is going to change. Your set point is going to change. The way you look at yourself is going to change. So if you're committed to showing up as a professional, a pro, over the next few days, one last time, type pro in the chat for me. And then I know who's going to be there 5 minutes early tomorrow. Okay. Fantastic. So we're right on time. Wow. Time that to the minute, guys. I'll see you there 5 minutes early tomorrow. I appreciate you all. Make sure to be there. Cameras on. We're going to crush it. Thank you so much for being here.